Howdy, howdy.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good,
Great.
That's good. Welcome to the Middlepage Podcast, powered by Blast Music 24/7. Shouts out to Veep, Choi, who makes it happen on Tuesday nights at 9. Shouts out to Sunshine. She is a large part of the way that the Middlepage Podcast springboarded into action. And we have guests tonight, Dre Lassane.
Wow, why gotta be a guest?
You were folk. We are all folk, but this is your first time on, so you're a guest. After this, you are no longer a guest.
Okay.
You know how it is when you go to somebody's house, you come in for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you got to go get your own drink.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh, yep.
Oh gosh. I don't have my glasses on because I'm reducing glare and all these monitors and stuff like that. But is that a star I see on your hat, V?
Yes, it is.
My goodness, what does that stand for?
Well, it's just a different variant of the Dallas Cowboys star. Different colors and everything, but it's just peanut butter and chocolate.
Oh wow! So you one of them?
One of them? Nah, I don't know. I don't think so, but
Oh my
no.
goodness gracious!
I don't know.
And he was ready to share that with us.
Mhm.
All out and everything else.
To be fair, shouts out to the Cowboys for putting down the GOAT last night.
Grim, what's up, my man?
That's all I'll say.
Nah, struggling Tom Brady. That's what he really was.
Who's your team, Dre?
Giants.
Hey.
Okay.
You knew that anyway, Sherrita.
The people didn't know, so I had to ask.
I know.
And I didn't
Bring
know.
it. Yeah, Sunshine didn't know. So your team is doing pretty good too, right?
Yeah, we made the playoffs. It's been a while. It's been a long while.
Yeah, it's been a long ride.
Good evening.
Hey, that's my cousin in love, Deborah Scott, right there, straight out of Brooklyn.
Peace, Deb.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. So glad people are coming in and coming on to check out the Middlepage Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, info.middlepage on Instagram. Tonight's topic, we are talking about food. You are what you eat. Coming into middle agedom, a lot of times we don't realize it, but we become deficient of the vitamins that have carried us in our lives. When we're younger, we eat what we eat, this, that, and the third. Some of us start healthier eating younger. Some of us don't. If you're like me, that's why this topic is kind of important to me. I was eating like trash most of my life. That's why I'm encountering a lot of the issues that I deal with right now. That's why it's important to me to talk to people about the things that might plague middle-aged folk. Hence the reason the Middlepage Podcast came to fruition. Nutrition is important. It'll keep you alive. We're going to talk about different areas. Now, some people might be vegan. Some people might be pescatarian, vegetarian. Some might still be carnivorous. But at the same time, there's different places to get different vitamins, however you eat. The term "you are what you eat" might be kind of cliche, but it actually is important to eat good food and to be healthy. I want to ask y'all, what constitutes healthy eating for y'all as middle-aged folks? What do y'all think that middle-aged eating is about?
Well, for me, it's whatever you put in your body that's good for you. I still don't count carbs. I still got a bad habit of that. So I still eat pretty much what I want, but I control in moderation. So going with a third plate, I'll eat maybe two.
So you practice portion control.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Tro?
That's still a work in progress for me because Before I used to cook for 4 people, and now I just gotta cook for myself. So it's a challenge.
Oh yeah, I totally understand. I had an empty nest syndrome situation where I was still cooking those big trays of chicken or those family-sized boxes of macaroni and cheese, and like just having so much food, and it's just I'm cooking for myself, and now I'm just cooking for my husband and I, and it's like we still have a problem controlling our leftovers. So I totally understand what you're talking about. Hey, Sunshine, what you eating up there?
A good old bag of Lay's.
My goodness. There's nothing like a bag of Lay's potato chips.
For real.
Facts.
Yeah, usually I don't do this, but it
Hey.
is what it is. But I'm just like you. I'm not about to count no carbs. A little bit of that, like, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that in a bad way, but some things are just, so I get it. Some people need that restrictions. Like, I've already been 360 pounds and got 150 of that off myself.
Wow.
And
Right.
so I know
Good
what
job.
it is appreciated. Like, when you know your body, you know what to do. And like the major thing is the muscle memory. Once you get back into it, or you just slowly, gradually, because that's a lot of things that people in our age bracket, they want to just jump right back out there. But bro, you ain't been doing nothing for like
Right.
3 years, and now you want to go on a sprint. You about to pull everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but you get what I'm saying. Well, at least this is what I'm saying in my head. Like, look, you ain't about to do this right here. You need to
That's
put this
right.
down, do a little bit here, build yourself up to that. Because we can't be going out here, hurting ourselves just because we trying to, get our thing back, and we thinking
Right.
that it's like riding a bike. Yeah, it is, but you got to pace yourself, and then knowing what works for your body. Some foods have become toxins to us, and we not even recognizing it. Our bodies at some point starts to reject things, like with tomatoes, like that. My body was rejecting that my freshman year in high school.
Wow.
My aunt had a tomato garden on the side of the house. I used to just go around there, pick them off and wash them, and then just throw a little salt and pepper on them and bite into them like an apple. But
you was Southern before you even got here, girl.
I'm trying to tell you. I keep telling you, I was, Jersey girl with Southern qualities. My aunt, my great grandmother and my aunts, they was from Lynchburg, Virginia. So I always had South part of me. So
Okay.
yeah, I got rushed to the hospital. Messed around. That's a bad way to find out, like when food start to reject you and you don't know what's going on. They rushed me to the hospital. That was the first time I encountered a big old epi needle in the hospital, their version. My aunt said, my aunt said I almost broke that thing off of my hip.
Wow. So you have to literally carry an EpiPen for?
Not so much now. It's just that, I really got it. I always be like, do you got tomatoes in it? Like, it's tomatoes in it. That's
some days she be like.
So there's some days where I test myself, So like, if I done ate it today, I can't mess with it tomorrow.
Right.
So, and then but I have, young sons, so I keep Benadryl in the house anyway. So I have things in place, but it's not as bad anymore as far as needing the epi. But if I'm not paying attention, like I've recently had a reaction to Jason Deli makes a chicken salad.
Mm.
No. Chicken salad, okay.
I love their chicken salad.
No. Chicken it's bad enough. You don't understand how long it took for me to understand that grapes and maybe almonds or some kind of walnuts go in the chicken salad. But
in theirs.
No, Jason Deli puts pineapple.
Ew.
Thank you.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either. See, what got me souped up, I saw it was almonds in it instead of walnuts. And it was on a job for an event. And it was on a nice soft croissant too. Man, as soon as I bit in that thing, my whole mouth just felt so weird. And and it was like on fire, and I was like, "What is this?" And like the same reactions that I would have to the fresh tomatoes, I started having it. I said, "Well, dag, I guess I can only have pineapples in my sangria because the alcohol must be killing the acid." So, but I haven't.
Pineapples are my favorite.
They're good for your stomach and everything. Gut health. That's part of it. So I feel kind of, in my feelings about that. Who's that, Tasha?
Yeah.
That looks like Tasha.
Yeah, that's Tasha.
That's my big sister.
Coming in here incognito and stuff. She don't got no picture up there. She must be coming from
But wow. What about you, Troy? You got any foods that just don't agree with you?
The saddest part is your boy love dairy and dairy don't love me. I love ice cream. I love cheese. Those things.
Me too. I be playing with them.
Because sometimes you just gotta have a chocolate frosty. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I give you that one.
And you suffer the consequences later.
I tell you, if White Castle was down here in the South, I would be no good because White Castle has the best chocolate milkshake ever.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Ever.
I'll attest to that.
Because it's like they just took the Hershey's and just melted it down in there and made that.
Probably exactly what they did.
Yo, man, I swear, growing up in Jersey and then coming down to the South, there's no chocolate milkshake like White Castle. I be, tiptoeing when I go home around there, like to make sure I don't get in that line for the same reason. I'll be like, no, I can't.
My goodness.
No more.
When it came to
Jose
White Castle,
takes me. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Okay. I was saying that when it came to White Castle, them little burgers, man, you can eat a whole bunch of them, but boy, do they clean you out.
Ooh, I don't like them.
It got so bad before I moved. I would have to order mine, make sure you get them fresh. No onions. I want no onions on my joint. It's the onions. It is the onion sauce, whatever that concoction
is. That what makes it bad?
It's the onion water, whatever you want to call it, when they get the scraping and putting it on. I'm telling you, if you ever order some the next time you go, trust me, say no onions and watch the difference. Watch the difference.
Really?
I'm gonna try it. Jose takes me to the White Castle on Bruckner in the Bronx when we go. We always stop by there, and I like that fish sandwich. I like that fish sandwiches though.
That surfer turf is a bad mug,
I like that fish sandwich,
and there's usually no onions on that either. That's how I figured out it's the onions on the burgers. Because not a lot of people when they restaurants or whomever, when it's a certain way you gotta store your onions.
Yeah,
absolutely, girl.
It's really a certain way. So if you're not really good on that, it's gonna come back on the people that eat them.
I don't play games when it comes to onions and fresh cut onions. I don't play no games. I won't eat nobody's onions because what they do, they'll mince them and keep them in the fridge. They're no good after 2 hours cut.
That's right.
They turn poisonous.
That's right.
And they will turn your stomach anytime. I don't play games with onions at all.
Deborah said those are the murder burgers. That's right.
The murder burgers.
He said we used to. Deborah, we still do. That ain't changed. Ain't nobody retired that name.
I have not heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
There used to be one right up the street from me on Route 1 and 9 in Broadway because I lived right on East Grand, and it's Merck Drug Company right there. You got McDonald's, you got Burger King right there, and White Castle.
My goodness.
You go in there.
Oh my gosh.
Take care of you real quick, boy.
Exactly.
Going back to that Frosty, I tried that peppermint Frosty from Wendy's this past holiday season. I don't know why I do it to myself. Like have y'all seen that James Brown meme? Have y'all seen the James Brown meme about what I do, what lactose do, or me after a milkshake or something? I got James Brown coming up and sweating profusely.
Oh God.
Hair all discombobulated.
Hair all over the place.
That's
sweating all over that.
That's not TMI nothing, but we're kind of transparent here on the Middlepage Podcast. But I every time dairy, I literally am on almond milk at this point. I eat my cereal with almond milk because I can. Right. Talk to us, Dre. Tell us
Almond
what you
not
know.
good for you.
Tell us why. Do you know?
I saw a couple of videos on. I can't remember why. It's not made of.
Mm.
It's something they put in it besides the almonds. I can't remember what it is, but it's not that good.
So fresh pressed almond milk is better. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Shouts out to Jasmine Mallory. Jasmine Mallory made fresh cashew milk for her baby. Baby Humble.
How you make cashew milk?
Listen, she said she was going to show me one time. We got lost in the sauce because she's a very busy woman. Shout out to Recreate Calendars. Get your Recreate calendar, www.recreate.inc real quick. But yo, she make her baby, Clement's wife, she make her baby fresh cashew milk after he came off the breast. And she still makes that for him. So I can understand what you mean about chemicals and processes that might make the almond milk not so good for us.
You know what's so frustrating is every time something is delicious or good, it ends up becoming not being good for you.
Right.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because y'all remember when tilapia first came out? You couldn't stop people from eating it.
You couldn't get enough.
It was engineered fish.
Facts.
That's the bottom feed fish too.
Worse than shrimp.
Yep.
Hey.
And people be all over them crab legs and stuff like that. Those crustaceans are just as bad, like the roaches of the sea. Like I dig it. I used to love crab legs when I was growing up. Loved them. I was
butter sauce with that butter sauce.
The butter garlic sauce. My goodness.
Everywhere, didn't you? I never got into that. I was born in Boston, but I never cared for lobster, crabs, none of that. I like salmon. Not it.
Oh, salmon is the king.
Gotta make sure you're getting the real salmon now, because that salmon in the store be like this, and you be like, hold up, where you?
Big. Salmon as big as my arm.
Like, for real, bro? Like, stop playing with me.
They do that in the backyard.
Where you get this from?
On in the back.
And if you don't pay attention, like the label will say wild, farm raised. You can't be wild and farm raised at the same time. Like
at the same time. I'm sorry.
That's not what we're doing. Don't insult my intelligence. Like,
and people be like, "Ooh, I like that."
Wild grew in the back in Brooklyn.
You got a Canarsie Pier.
Oh my gosh!
Like for real.
Oh my gosh!
It's just like, who knows? Mess around. We gonna be what's some things that I done had? What do they call MEs? Everybody gonna be walking around with a powder pack or whatever their favorite food is. Keep it up.
Wow. Right. Dre, any foods that you have a problem with?
Nah, to be honest with you, I'm not allergic to anything. I'm always like, I eat anything, just about. So I'm not allergic to nothing.
Right.
So I'm kind of lucky on that field. Dang,
for me.
I felt straight judgment coming from North Carolina.
Jesus.
Look, you gotta get the rocking with it.
You gotta roll the eyes too, like how your mom used to do when you in trouble.
That's right.
There you go. A little bit better.
For me, I try to eat healthier. Like I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'm just so excited that I was able to catch it in time and proud of myself, because to pull away from the table is a really big deal for me. I love food. I love to eat, like period. Portions was my problem. I mean, if you sit there and look at the nutritional facts on a box and you really look at what you're actually eating, like, I did just do 54 grams of carbs just then. Like you ain't even supposed to eat the whole share size pack of candy bar.
Right.
Whatever. Nobody in my house is gonna be.
I'm keeping that. I ain't sharing nothing.
Listen, I ate all of the
unless
little
I'm putting it away for me to go back to later. Do you understand me? I'm not sharing that with nobody.
Share with me.
Yeah, me, myself, and I.
My homeboy had tell me about reading labels. He was with my trainer at that time. And it's amazing when you take the time to read the labels, you'll be blown away by what you see. Because Milo's lemonade.
Talk about it.
I love.
How much you really supposed to have?
Now
I just looked at that the other day.
It's an 8-ounce cup. 8-ounce cup. I'm trying to see if I have an 8-ounce cup around.
An 8-ounce.
Now, an 8-ounce cup.
This is 16. This is 16, so that would be 8 ounces.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it said 8 ounces in sugar. That son of a gun was 54% of your daily. In 8 ounces.
That'll black my sight out, y'all. Look,
man,
I be messing around.
I'm not diabetic, pre-diabetic, none of that. But I tell you what, stuff that got a lot of sugar in it, no, that's like I turn into Pookie. Like, oh my gosh, like I can feel it like itching. Like it makes my skin crawl when I have too much sugar. I'd be like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Hey, do me a favor. Somebody read what Natasha said.
It's starting to be the same time of day. I eat, making sure my digestion is going to come out smooth. Eat too late, and my middle-aged stomach is telling me it's time.
Yeah,
I feel you on that one too.
Absolutely. It's like a magua. You can't eat that after a certain time. Like,
right.
You know, it sucks when you are age though, when you go out to the club, you know, you drinking, and then you need to get something to soak that up, and you looking at the time like it's 11:30, it's midnight, but you need something to soak that liquor up. You got to be careful what you choose to order, but then you just be like, forget it. Sometimes you end up paying for it the next 3 days.
It's terrible.
3 days. Good gracious.
Dang.
Yeah,
Hold on a second.
depending on how much drinking you was doing, you know,
Like y'all drinking with grease.
Yeah, drinking with grease, not cooking, drinking with grease.
Dang. That don't sound like nothing right.
I heard John from across the room.
OG chicken when you drink fried
Listen, and not even the chicken is starting to be a problem. Chicken is starting to be a problem, but I think for me, it's like because I don't have a gallbladder, and the gallbladder. I know. The gallbladder is like responsible for breaking down fats in the biliary, and so like I promise you, not to be gross, guys, but you know I have to be prepared. Like she just said, go to the club, you know, you want something to, you know, you take a little drink or whatever, you need something to soak it up, be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why old women bring purses with them, because they got their cleaning supplies and whatnot to keep themselves tidy. On deck. Brothers out here wearing the man purse, got their wipes in the back. Stop playing.
Man purse.
They
Like,
call them
He's
dude
trying
wipes.
no, chill with that man purse thing.
Got them dude wipes on deck.
Got the boo-boo wipes.
listen, I'm only being real because I know what I gotta do.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I know what I gotta do.
Right.
You know, like.
I see a brother with some wipes that telling me, yes, he's conscious of what could happen back there. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being, was it hygienic?
Yeah, no dingleberries here.
Now, you know the thing with, like, I don't have my gallbladder either. But the funny thing is, as soon as you eat, it feel like you got to go.
Oh, so you already know. Sunshine, he ain't lying. He ain't lying. I'm talking about it don't matter what it is. You got minutes.
Literally.
You literally got, because you can feel it travel through your body and like you got minutes.
It
You
feel
literally
like
have
your
minutes.
intestines out, and it just goes from here straight out. That's it. It's crazy.
Wow.
And see, for people like us, we can't absorb the vitamins A and K as well as you guys can because we don't have a gallbladder. So it's a challenge to even attempt to get those products. Like I used to love smoothies with kale, green apples, pineapples, celery. Man,
Ginger.
that'll mess me up for the day. Ginger, no, I can do the ginger. I just can't do leafy greens. I can't do raw leafy greens. I have to cook my leafy greens now.
Wow.
What kind of greens are you eating?
I have to. Huh?
What kind of greens are you eating though?
Oh, the smoothie, like a smoothie.
Okay.
And I make my smoothies with water, you know, or crushed ice.
I can't do those powdered ones. Like, what is
very
that?
gritty?
The gold green joints, like when it was everything. Like, cause I found out wheatgrass and alfalfa root together is not a friend of mine. Do you understand me? and that combination, like, I think the gold greens thing, like, it has like a bunch of crap in it all at once. So it's not like you could get it without,
It's
those
like a
two
festival.
items. Yeah, it's a party in that little thing.
That's what you got right
A party in my tummy. So
yeah,
yummy.
like now. I haven't
What's that,
seen that
Troy?
one.
This is NO Greens, naturally sweetened superfood, probiotics and antioxidant. Paradise.
Oh, that
Plant.
just sounds like trouble.
Oh, that's
for
a
me.
new
It's
one.
not. It's not. Actually, that's like the best stuff you can buy for yourself. Health conscious.
Two cosigns. What's it called? No greens.
No green.
No.
Tell the people what it is again.
Who, me?
Yeah, show the package.
So rest music.
NO Greens. NO Greens.
I like how they did that.
This was
Okay.
this was a sample they gave me. I haven't used it yet, but I was like, I'm gonna try
Well,
it out.
go on and try that thing and report back to us, okay?
Yeah, report back. Roger that.
Nah, they got some good stuff though.
What's up,
I got some
Soul
good
Rez?
products, too. And I was
Yes,
thinking
indeed.
something, so they got some good stuff.
Okay.
I seen the name
So-
before. I just haven't tried anything. Like I said, now I drink the chlorophyll from the alfalfa root.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But the have like
Not
I think,
alfalfa
like,
root
but
and
the powder, like anything powder, like when people get headaches, and they dump back the Goodie Powders, I can't do that. Like
I could never.
a chewable.
I could never.
That drives me crazy. I guess it's the grittiness of everything. I don't like it. 41
It remind me
years
too
old
much
and
of
I still can't.
cocaine.
See, 41 years old and I still can't do it. Like, you see what I'm saying? I'll be like,
They put it on the back of their tongue and sweep it back with a
Hey.
Pepsi. I'd be like, what you
I'll
just
be
did?
like, what is that?
Wow, with a Pepsi, that's like a
Yes.
habit as it went down.
Oh,
Just
God.
I
Hey, they
see
don't be
so
playing.
many
They act
people
like
do
they're unaffected.
that. Yep.
Right.
People drink wine. If they going to drink wine, I done seen them open it up, toss it back, and then get to going with the wine. I'd be like, what is this?
Like,
Yikes.
No,
dang.
but okay, now you gotta know. We might have had those in Jersey, right? We might have, okay? So don't judge
would,
me,
Sherrita.
okay? Man, he used to do it. Okay, see, don't judge me, all right? I'm gonna just say this right now. But when I first moved to North Carolina and I moved to Greensboro, I didn't know what that was. When it's
Right.
not in the
What are they
package
doing?
and you see it in the wax paper, I was like,
Right.
yo, I gotta go. I don't know what you got going
Are they
on.
ingesting cocaine? They are ingesting coke now. Okay.
Because
Welcome to the
it
South.
was sitting there, and I said, yo, what is that? Man, look, they was like, what are you talking about? I said, what is that on the table, bro? I was like, oh, that ain't nothing but a little Goodie Powder. I said, oh, that's what y'all call it down here?
The goodie.
Goodie
Whoa.
Powder.
Yeah, Goodie Powder.
But you can't tell old folks nothing. Like people beyond middle agedom, the seniors, you can't tell them nothing about a Goodie Powder. That's the cure all.
Yeah.
Yeah, go and get you a Goodie Powder. I can't do it. When I say
They said the headache could
It's
go
like
away
as
that fast.
soon as it get like right there to the top, like right in there, it's like I can't.
Just
Moving
like
along.
like ginger ale is for those every time they sick, you got to drink that.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, pause. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There you go. Look.
We don't touch it.
Let
We
me
don't
tell
touch
you.
that. That is sacred.
Let me tell you. Listen, don't play. And they got a new one called Bold.
Yes, and I love it.
My goodness.
I love it. All that ginger. Nah, see, I do it room temperature. Go on, give it to me. Yeah, I want to feel the burn. I want to feel that thing. I don't
And
need
then of course I love ginger. I love ginger beer too.
Oh yes, ginger beer. I grew up on that. That's the one thing I miss about being home, because I can go to any bodega, any corner store, and I can go in there and get me a ginger beer, and I'll be good.
I lived in the
I
islands.
go to Calypso Mama and get them. That's where I can really find them in Greensboro.
Yeah,
I'm good with that ginger beer, man. I mean, respect to ginger, because ginger is a root you gotta respect. Because even when you're cutting it to put it in a smoothie, you gotta respect it. Because if it's any more than this, you about to get jacked up, bro. Plain and simple.
real bad. We're going to talk about immune fighting or immune boosting foods on another episode. The cilantro, the ginger, the thyme. What's the other one?
She gave me a whole list when I was down, man. She was like, get you some of this, get that. Well, send somebody to go get this and go get
Absolutely.
that.
Just
put
so
it together.
Know, Soul Red says what you're not going to do is disparage the healing powers of Canada Dry.
Yes, right. That's right.
What
being,
and it better not be Schweppes. Grandma wants Canada Dry.
Canada Dry. She ain't
playing.
Being I was married to a Puerto Rican, if there's not a jar of Vicks next to her, there's gonna be problems. That thing is a miracle rub on everything.
On everything. On the bottom
Vicks
of
was created in Greensboro, North Carolina.
For real? Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Didn't know
Vicks Vapor Rub was created in Greensboro, North Carolina. North Carolina is known for a lot of different things, and Vicks is one of them.
I thought it was Pepsi and cherry wine. I thought it was just Pepsi and cherry wine.
Pepsi, cherry wine, Vicks Vapor Rub, Texas Pete is Winston-Salem.
Murray's Beeswax.
Murray's Beeswax, really?
I know that.
Yeah, my people's that I went to school with. That's their grandfather's business, and they from down here.
Wow.
My man said Canada Dry and Zesta crackers. God, dog.
That's it. That's it.
Man,
while you watching the youngin', while you watching Bob Barker on The Price is Right, and then The Young and the Restless. By the time your friends come back from school, you could go out and play, but because you didn't go to school, you can't go outside.
You ain't going outside.
You feel better.
That's right. Like, I mean, it's so funny now being like a contract worker, you know, doing the COVID contact tracing. And then so anything with a child with a fever, you know, they got to come to me in isolation. But the stuff that we get asked, can we do? Like, I've literally heard people ask the nurse, well, can you, if they stomach hurt, can you just give them some ginger ale?
Wow.
And you know, that I'll be looking at the admin staff like, boy, y'all got it bad, yo. Like, no. And then what's the amazing thing is, no, they can't. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, the school system can't. Like, they don't even have ginger ale to give the students anyway. Right. But for you
and they can't.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they did, they could not give your child ginger ale.
Only thing they got is that frozen box of orange juice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Frozen box of apple juice.
Look, they don't even have it frozen no more. They just go to the cafeteria and go. Yeah, it ain't even. It's the sun cups, just the little sun cups now, and that orange juice be all tart. I'd rather
like it was the most bitter orange tree produced this juice.
You see my face. That's exactly what happened. Like, it's amazing when you see them babies come out of there from getting their free breakfast, and as soon as they get out there, they open that juice. That's the first thing they go in the trash. It's the orange juice. Ugh. It's disgusting.
Then when the kids come back and they say, "You've been bad all week."
Listen. So we're at the halfway point of the Middlepage Podcast. We're talking about you are what you eat. It's time for the Blast Music Artist of the Week.
Do you see Soul Res? Just rub some Robitussin on it.
I love it.
So, hey, we cut off, have a good time. But listen, this is my man, Mike Jeezy. He is going to be on the podcast this weekend that's called The Liftoff. Check it out at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. on Saturday. Mike Jeezy, and this is called Energy. This song is hype. Check it out.
Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy.
My G, coming to the crowd raw. Big dog, you don't really wanna feel these claws. See, God loves me anyway, despite these flaws. So I gotta get a little buck wild, yeehaw. My God giving y'all the blessing, so I never tap out. No time for stressing. I'm confessing that I'm still learning lessons. When I get knocked down, get up stepping, cause I know how my blessings flow. Started from the ground down to the tiptoe. Holy Spirit, you don't wanna miss this flow, cause I'm talking about you and the whole trio. The Father's on top and they call me mijo. For my Latinos, it's Jesucristo. My God's bilingual, so if you didn't know, I'ma speak English, mi amigo.
Make sure you keep that same energy. 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 Make sure you keep that same energy.
Real. Somebody tell me whose man's is this? Flip flop, they crisscross, wanna jump when they plotting the whole twist. Well, hey, Mr. Big Stuff, now tell me who you think you are. Call Gene Knight, cause you know you're dismissed. I got a lot of enemies, they draining my energy, but telling my energy is inside of my energy. If I'm at a dead end, I'm counting on real friends, the type that will help you and open the Red Sea. Never make a promise that you can't keep. Nobody really likes to bluff, that's a wave so deep. If you're gonna repent, then I suggest an upkeep. And if that energy drained, then throw away the whole thing. Sometimes you gotta cut the cord to keep moving forward, to be a valuable piece within this game and board. What's done in the dark is brought to the light, it's heads or tails. So tell me how you call it, alright? Listen, hot or cold, ain't no man in the middle, cause if it gets spit out, ain't no stopping this riddle. You're headed on a dead end, on a one way. I know you see the sign, read it what the Lord say. On a periodic table, I'm an element, and me and God got a chemistry. So next time you ever think about attacking me, well, make sure you keep that same energy.
Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you keep that same energy.
Yeah, I'm living for God for real. I go fishing for real. I'm like a Navy SEAL, toting that Pelican bill. I'm just a kid full of Skittles, no riddle, it's simple. I love them with all of my energy. I get empty. In the forefront, I'm up on my tippers. I think I saw Jesus in my dreams. Oh, you don't believe all that sweet honey, please. I get hyped through the night. Oh, my energy gon' spike. Oh, I think I see the light.
Make sure you keep that same energy. 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 Make sure you keep that same energy.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee. Now listen, that right there was crazy. Every MC was hot.
Yep.
Shouts out to those guys.
No doubt.
I like that.
So, if you are an independent artist or even an up-and-coming comedian or even a spoken word poet that would love some exposure, you can go ahead and go to blastmusic247.com and register as an artist. Fans are welcome as well. Sign up for free. That is blastmusic247.com, changing the industry one artist at a time.
Absolutely.
That was catchy.
Keep that same
I
energy.
like that.
Yup. Keep that same energy. Yup.
Everything
That's right.
Everything I heard from Mike G is just straight fire. The dude's gonna be awesome. So I can't wait to look forward to seeing him this weekend on that podcast. So definitely check him out.
And that's Danny's podcast, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna check that out.
D-Ray and Miss Banks. Go ahead.
Oh, those were the other artists in the track?
No. Those are the two that are going to be hosting it. The Lift podcast. Yeah.
Got you. All right. Well, back to the facts. This is the Middlepage Podcast, and we're talking about you are what you eat. We're gonna flip to what do we lack growing into middle agedom. Some of the vitamins that we lack are B12, which contributes to a healthy nervous system. Vitamin D, which contributes to controlling infections, reducing inflammation. Folic acid is part of the folate system. B9 vitamins, they kind of keep us healthy too. Of course, I'm not a doctor or nutritionist. I do just research facts and I like to share. But these are important vitamins that we need to have. Calcium keeps us healthy, keeps our bones healthy. Omega-3 fatty acids, they keep our blood running normally, relaxing and contracting our arteries. Protein repairs our cells. So you can imagine why we as middle-aged people, if we aren't taking care of ourselves, that we would have a problem with some health issues if we're not intaking certain nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids or proteins or even B12. Has anyone ever had a problem or been deficient with any of these vitamins and had side effects from not having those vitamins properly in their diet?
Well, I from that car wreck I had in 2019, the seatbelt injury did a number on my abdomen, from my breast down to my abdomen. Remember I mentioned I got blood clots in my left breast, but it did a number where my ileocecal valve is not dumping like it should. The seatbelt snatched so bad that I was I swelled up for about
ruptured it
almost for 6 months. And so I had found out, after meeting Dr. Chris, she's a neuropathic doctor, where she gives you infotosicles that helps, register to your cells to get them working how they should. And when she did the biometric scan, she told me I wasn't producing insulin. My regular doctor didn't find that out.
And that didn't have anything to do with your pancreas. It had to do with your ileocecal. Like your ileocecal valve. That's where you're, the absorptions that you're talking about. That's where that's one of the areas where it happens. And then it has to be able to dump into the next area, and it's not working properly like it should. She discovered these things. These are things that I didn't. No blood work could discover. You feel what I'm saying? Only thing. Tell them her name again. Tell the people her name again.
Dr. Patricia Chris. She's on Facebook. She's a neuropathic doctor out of Durham, North Carolina. And when she started telling me certain things, even with the headaches, the emergency room gave me something, and it's kind of hard to explain, but you know how they say clouded headaches? That's the best description I can give somebody that's not actually feeling it, but it just feels like it's so much pressure, and it's nothing.
Like you're just fogged.
It's like the heaviest fog ever, and it's just it makes it feel almost like your brain is just shrinking because it's so profound. So they gave me something, and I got to be careful with medicine that I take. They gave me something that felt like it just opened me up. But, they don't give you anything to really treat. It's just, it's not to cure, it's just to treat, so that didn't last long. I get with her, come to find out I had a zinc deficiency. So she started giving me zinc, and I was taking 20 drops of zinc a day, and I have not had that issue. And I just started going to her last June. So the things that I was going to my primary for and trying to figure out, she does one thing and it totally disappears. I do not have those.
It changes your life.
Yeah, it changes it totally around. Now I'm producing insulin, but still I'm not diabetic. I'm not pre-diabetic. It's just it was on pause. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I could think of. It just was put on pause. And
for me, I had a B12 deficiency because I wasn't eating meat. Because after the gallbladder surgery, I can't really eat beef or pork. Troy will tell you, it's really that's one of the main reasons I'm 75% vegan at this point in my life, because there's certain things I just can't eat. And I literally was so deficient with B12. I was having brain fog. I was tired. I was lethargic even. And I had to take B12 shots for damn near a year to get myself up to par. And then I take actual pills daily now.
Where were they giving you over the counter shots?
In my hip.
did you get bruising?
Yes.
Because like that side leg pain. I can't remember the nerve ending of it now and the muscle that goes through it, but it literally, like, they alternate hips, and but it's a lot of bruising, and then those little sharp pains that you feel down the side of your leg. That's like,
it felt like sciatica.
Yeah, and it's not, and I mean, and this is after you done went and they done gave you them shots. But then it's like when you're walking, you feel like these sharp pains and stuff, and you trying to figure out, is it sciatica? No, it's from them giving you them shots. And it's like sometimes, if they technique is wrong, it literally feels like they're hitting a nerve.
Absolutely, literally.
Like and really, like, not medical assistance, but if you're not really proficient in trained,
right, don't do it.
In doing intramuscular type injections, like, you need to take a class. Like, really, no one should feel that.
Phlebotomy 3 or something. You don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's
Seriously.
really simple, but a lot of people aren't even figuring out, like, they're going to these med spa type places, getting the what is the medicine? That pill to get you lose weight, got a little bit of dope in it. I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, like, these women, and I don't know, seen some men go in
the bariatric clinic, is you mean?
I guess you could call it that, but no, like, they give you pills to lose weight, to assist you in losing weight, and then they give you the option of B12 shots with some of them have like lipo mixed in with it or something like that, and it's like an aid in helping you lose weight, but also give you the energy so that you can do everything that you need to do throughout the day, stuff like that. And I've, when you're examining people, you see the results of it. And it's like one thing, track marks, you know what I'm saying? But then here you got, I'm just saying, but on here you got bruise marking. And and they're just right there, and like, on the hips, and it's just like, and how
the flanky part, not even the hip, but the flanky part. It took like 3 months for that particular bruising to go down. I had changed practices in the midst of my B12 therapies, so not because of the bruising. They said that was just a side effect. So of course, that kind of makes us feel like, oh, don't worry, it's just a side effect. But when I went to the next practice, I wasn't experiencing that type of bruising. A lot of times, it could even be with the pharmaceutical company that they're using. You might have the same type of medication or the same type of vitamin therapy, but the manufacturer may differ, and it makes the world of a difference.
It's basically trade name generic. One works better than the other because generic is going to have the same medicine, but it's going to have some extra stuff in it with it. Trade name is going to give you straight medicine.
Exactly. So I'm going to tell us some foods with all the vitamins that I named that we might be deficient in or have a issue with at one point or another, and tell you the foods that correlate with those vitamins to help us get healthier. Vitamin D, you can eat more salmon, tuna, orange juice, sardines, and beef liver. Now, of course, like I stated, some people are vegan, some people are pescatarian, some people are non-vegan, some people are carnivorous. But whatever floats your boat, however you're eating, those are the things that beef liver. My mama used to try to make us. She used to try to beat it with a cup with onions. Oh my God! And then get mad at you if you ain't want it. Like, what are you doing?
Jesus. No, Jesus.
What is that? No.
And they love it. They love it. Like, elders, they love it.
And but with vitamin D too, get out there. Anytime you see some sunlight, get out there. Try to take a walk in it. You killing two birds with one stone. You getting some cardio.
It's okay to sweat, guys. It's okay to sweat.
Soak in that sun. You melanin. We need it anyway. So
Yeah, and it makes it bronze up real good if you get out there.
Real nice, right? Nice.
Yeah.
B12.
What'd you say?
nobody going outside when it's cold.
And
Listen,
see, that's what be. But you notice how
that's the problem.
If you notice, like that's what. If people paid attention, you know, everybody gets all recluse in the wintertime, almost like we on some hibernation thing. But the sun is still there, you know,
It's still out there waiting for you.
Especially in the South, you know, versus being in Jersey, you know.
We get them 61 degree days.
We get them 68 days in the wintertime that I would never see up there around January, you know, and the sun's still out, you know. So like that's the best thing. Oh yeah.
Solrez said I had just had bariatric surgery and he had to cut his sugar intake. I'm amazed at the difference in my body in a short amount of time.
When I tell you, sugar, high fructose corn syrup will kill you.
It's the number one killer. I had an Asian doctor in Jersey. That's the first thing he said when I lost that 150 pounds. He said, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to give you nothing. It's about portion control. And he said, the one thing you need to do is get rid of the high fructose syrup. He said, cut all that out. You know, I was a Dr. Pepper heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget Pepsi, forget Coke. I was Dr. Pepper. You know, give me a good old mug of beer.
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
You know, like, that's what it was. But you know, the sweet.
That's how I lost my weight.
As soon as I cut that out, that was the first thing I cut out. I dropped weight just from taking that off. So
my A1C went from a 10 to a 7.2. When I cut high fructose corn syrup out. No more zebra cakes. No more honey buns.
Yeah. Look at me. He just shot him one. Oh. But you know
he got one in his lab.
But you know that's almost in bread too. Like if you're not paying attention, that's an ingredient in bread. It's like, what are you doing? Like nature's own is real big on that. You know, I started because you know they're like no fructose sugar and all this stuff, and I remember a lady saying, "Why are they putting that on her?" I said, "Oh, you don't read labels."
To let you know, you don't understand.
No, because like you don't know what you're eating in the other breads because you don't read labels. You know, folks.
Absolutely.
You know they get on me because you know that yellow 5, red 40, all of that stuff. I'll be like, "Bruh, you all right?"
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I gotta have a diet Mountain Dew.
Well, I mean, as long as you control your moderation of taking it, you're fine.
But even getting the diet stuff but listen, it's not
the diet stuff is a problem too.
But that's what I'm saying.
With aspartame, is it called aspartame? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Just as bad.
Crap is not good for you. Like if you're going to do it, you know, like but
do it right.
No, but do it right. Like, you know, you gotta, it's still a matter of portion control. So if you're drinking a can of the crackiest, sugarish soda out there, you know, you want to drink maybe 2 to 3, the equivalent of water behind that, you know, or
break it up,
you know,
make
break it
your
up like
happy.
that. Yeah, or you take that can of whatever that concoction is that you want so bad, and you get a cup, maybe a 20-ounce cup, put ice in it and pour it in there. The ice is going to kill it. It's going to help kill and break down the sugar. But using the substitutes, unless you're going with plant-based, organic, don't do it. Don't even do it to yourself because you're setting yourself up.
Don't even try it.
Yeah, don't.
Right. So back to these facts real quick. Folic acid. You can get some folic acid or folate from beans, dark leafy greens, fruits, and was it more fiber related foods like oatmeal. Calcium, you could of course get it from milk. If you drink milk, I don't suggest you drink milk.
No.
Our friend, our beloved Morgan Renee Myers calls it cow pus.
It is.
She turned me against it from that point on. I don't drink white milk anymore.
Did you you never watched the farms? You never seen
it?
Look, you know the
after they did the chicken McNugget video, it was a wrap for me.
You need to watch that video because what dawned on me, like how they give them the antibiotics and everything, it looked like they put this pipe in them. It literally the one that I watched, it literally looked like the little water main thing in the street, like on your sidewalk. It looked like it was about that big. No, I kid you not. One of those vamping nights. I'm flipping through the channels and I just had to catch this. This dude put his whole arm down through there. He had a sleeve that went up to here. And I'm like, what are they doing? And they was like, that's how they get the antibiotics in them to get everything they need to get them to produce all the stuff. I said, oh, this is sickening.
Wow.
So we'll eat tofu. We'll go ahead and eat tofu with soybeans.
I don't even like tofu. I gotta try yours though. I gotta try yours.
You gotta try my tofu.
I gotta try.
Yes, I marinate my tofu. Tofu will take on the flavor of anything that you season it with. And yes, I will definitely put you on that next time. A lot of times people, they sell me out of the tofu. Real talk. Squash.
I can't just go buying that off the shelf because everybody don't do everything right.
Right. OJ, you can get calcium from orange juice, salmon. You can get your omega-3 fatty acids from fish, all fishes, not tilapia. Sunshine's favorite is swai. Sunshine likes swai. Protein, meats, veggies, nuts, grains. Preferably just get your nuts and your grains in, your beans, lentils, pintos, black beans. And a lot of times guys don't eat this stuff out the can. If you can, get it frozen. Get your vegetables frozen if you can't have them fresh. The first key to clean eating is looking at the first 3 ingredients on your product that you're going to consume. And if it says something other than water or the product that you're eating, most likely it's not going to be good for you. Try to eat it frozen or fresh. So yeah, man. Oh yeah, one more thing, potassium. Potassium is one of those things that helps us retain the normal flow of fluid in our body and keeps our blood pressure normal. Potatoes, spinach, broccoli, avocados, and bananas, of course, will provide that potassium that we need for our bodies. So
yeah, you better make sure you keep that potassium right, because man,
potassium will mess you up. Now you talk about B12 or zinc.
It'll have you in the hospital like you about to have a heart attack or a stroke or something, boy. Look, been there, done that.
Yes. Yes,
goodness gracious. That is.
You will think that you're having your chest feel like it's caving in. It feel like your chest is caving in. They'll put you on an IV drip for that.
Yep. Right. I tell you, it's serious. And them potassium pills, you see my thumb, boy, they look just like that.
Yeah, and you have to actually break them in half. You have to break them in half.
They come over
you
there.
You gotta break them in half.
They don't even fit the little cup that they put them in. That's how big them.
It just be like sitting over the top of the cup, like
yeah. They just sitting there hanging, like here you go, take these 2. I was like, what is that? That is, you know me, and I got the IV.
Can I just have 2 bananas? Can I just eat 2 bananas right now?
These look like, the nurse laughed at me. I said, these look like my thumbs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man, that's definitely not, when I say not a good thing, that's not, because it makes you feel like you're going through the motions of other things. Like it literally is like
you're having a stroke, like you're having a heart attack.
But even before that, it'll make you feel like, okay, oh, maybe I just need to eat. You'll feel like your sugar is low and stuff like that. And because what happened, we was in the middle of doing our stuff for our EMT intermediate 2, and we were in lab. So one of the classmates, they gave me one of them Clef bars, and I told you about the stuff with me and sugar, and I already told them. I said, this ain't gonna be a good thing. Don't give me this. And they was like, no, you need this. Don't worry about it. You've been running a lot and you didn't get a chance to eat yet, so that's probably all just what it is. They're doing the assessment on me. So in class, I ended up being the subject instead of using a dummy. So they're doing all of this stuff. But boy, when I tell you, by the time I got home from class, I had to have somebody like rushing me to the hospital because they said they said my eyes was bugging, and like you said, my chest felt like it was tapping on my back. I didn't know what was going on. Man, and they kept me they'll keep you for a while for that too. They will. Yep, they kept me for like 12, 13 hours just to make sure, because they pushed me right back too. Like I ain't even had to wait.
They put you on a drip.
They put me on a drip, and then they said, "Oh, your potassium is low, so here we go, these big ass pills."
Is that something you have a recurrent issue with, or you're okay with that now?
No, I'm okay with that now. Like, it's amazing, because the one thing that we have not mentioned, and I know this is the reason why I've experienced majority of this stuff, even with eating the proper foods and all of that, when you're not getting adequate rest, you're not giving your body time to store
we talking about
things.
that. We talking about sleep hygiene. That's coming up next month.
But we have that on deck next month. Goes hand in hand with anything that you're trying to get your body to do. Anything. Because if you don't give your body time for adequate reset,
you may as well be eating trash.
Yep, it's gonna sit you down. You could be the most healthiest person on the world, but if you are not getting the most adequate rest, I'm telling you, it's gonna come back on you, and you're not gonna like it, because it'll manifest in the weirdest ways.
You ever see The Sims? Like, play the Sims game when they just be doing this?
Yeah, that's exactly how you
feel. Exactly. You're going to really pass out if you really don't get enough rest. I used to pull 24 and 36 hour days and stupid stuff like that when I was young. We was partying, smoking weed, drinking, going to work, taking care of kids.
Third shift and then going straight to a first shift job. Yeah, I just recently stopped.
When I was young. Man, because you trying to burn the candle at both ends. You want to be young, but you also want to be responsible. You're doing all of the things, and you get to a point where it's just too much. Like now at 46, I take naps. I might take more than one nap a day.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I took me a nap before we got on tonight. I'm trying to tell you.
That's why you look so spry.
Look, all this good old rain that we had today, it just was not stopping. It was not it looked something like that Florida rain, when it just come out of nowhere real fast and real hard. Yeah. It just kept doing that from 10 o'clock all the way up
it was
until
in squalls. It was in squalls. I don't understand it. I mean, I know that we're between the ocean and the mountains, so we get weird transitions and weather formations and stuff, but it came in squalls. It was really, really heavy and then really, really light. And then you hear it again, because we got a 10 roof. We got a 10 roof.
Yeah.
So it just.
And I tell you, man, I was like, geez, well, let me get through this day. Took them boys to the doctor, and I said, I'm going to take me a nap. I need a nap.
That's right. I'm glad you were able to wake up and join us for the Middlepage Podcast.
Oh yeah, my life is set to alarms. Ring the alarm. Ring the alarm.
Man, we're gonna touch on all of these things: how we manage our lives, how we develop routines, sleep hygiene, all of these things, because it's really, really important to middle-aged folks. I'm not trying to age us out, but I just want people to realize. Take a little bit more care of yourself. Just take a little bit more care than you did when you were younger, because you will wear yourself out. And like you said, if you don't take care of yourself, your body will sit you down.
Now go and sit down for a spell. Yeah, you rest right there.
So we've been talking about you are what you eat. We discussed different ways to get nutrition. And anything else to add before we close out, y'all? Sunshine? Any advice for the people?
making sure, even like how you know that you can't do the raw leafy greens. A lot of times jumping on, and I don't want to say bandwagon diets or healthy eating habits, is because what works for you may not work for me. So you have to pay attention to your body and watch how it reacts to the things that you do differently, and do not go cold turkey. You have to slowly reduce stuff, and as you're taking things away, you need to slowly introduce something new, so you don't go through that what is it, the little hamster wheel of withdrawal, but you keep going back. You got to replace it with something healthy. So cutting back and replacing things with healthy, but knowing what foods work for you, because again, some people may find out certain raw vegetables don't work for them. A lot of people don't even know that once you cook spinach, that's your only time that you cook it. You better not reheat it, because it creates it creates a toxin.
It will hurt your stomach. It will make you violently sick.
So the next time you eat it, you better eat it cold, because that's the only way you're supposed to.
Exactly. I'm going to get my leafy greens. I just can't have them raw no more. But, I just got to do what I got to do to keep myself healthy. Dre, you want to have anything to add with closing out on You Are What You Eat? What people could take away from this?
I would always say, if you can, try to meal prep. If you can, to save time, but also make sure it's the right thing, not the wrong thing. And if you can eat around the clock, like you're supposed to eat 8 times a day, every 2 hours.
What?
Normally, yeah.
Of the right things, and of portions.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be it's supposed to be like a small breakfast or a smoothie or something like that. Whatever you decide, and then it's supposed to be a snack of some type of grains, a snack of some type of fruit. Then you have your lunch, and then the same thing, before going to bed. And then of course, not eating past a certain time. Yeah, Dr. Chris got a whole healthy eating plan too. That's just like that.
So when should be your heaviest meal, Dre?
Never. As long as you eat small portions of it, but the same thing constantly, you're fine. But you should never have a heavy meal, because all they're going to do is sit on your stomach. You don't want that. And you're going to feel bloated. You don't want that either.
You get that itis.
Itis. Hey, Troy, what can you give the folks to take away from this episode of the Middlepage Podcast? You Are What You Eat.
The main thing about this podcast that I've learned is that you'll be learning something new. I've learned so much on this episode alone. The power of Goodie Powder and Kennedy.
And Goodie Powder is not cocaine. It is acetaminophen.
I'm just saying, no one gave me the heads up. Ain't nobody prepped me. Like I said, they might have been sold in Jersey. I just ain't never seen it until I moved to Greensboro.
Until you just open it up. It's envelopes. It's 4 envelopes.
I just happened to look over and I'm like, hey man, what's going on? What are you doing? Like, you gotta prep folks that's not from where you from. You gotta prep people so they know. I don't want to be accusing people.
Get that bag ready.
You know what? Oh my goodness! I want to.
Everybody
no, go ahead,
about my Goodie Powder experience.
So they just put it in their mouth. They didn't even put it in their nose. They put it in their mouth.
That was the new thing. Like, oh, you really testing it to make sure I ain't even see the finger go through or nothing. I'm like,
oh God.
My goodness. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you, Troy.
Yeah.
We could go on and on. We had such a ball on this podcast. Please tune in next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Middlepage Podcast. Next week, our topic will be anxiety do's and don'ts. As we will venture into, the uneasy feelings that we get and things of that nature. Thanks, Dre, for coming on, Sunshine, and Troy for sitting in as usual. Our buddy Martin will be back next week. He's under the weather. Let's keep him in prayer. And thank you all for tuning into the Middlepage Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to Blast Music 24/7 so you can get this show and all the other wonderful shows on Blast Music 24/7. Thank you.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace. Have a good one, y'all.
Peace.